Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Capricorn, December 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, Clairvoyant. Well, we have a very interesting deck for you this month, full of very intriguing artwork from the medieval period. Now, some of the activities that go on can be quite graphic, like impaling people or chopping people's heads off, as people were wont to do back then, apparently. Well, we know that that was the case from reading history, don't we? But there's nothing here that's going to cause you any alarm. Now, you do know that I provide clairvoyant readings to people all over the world via FaceTime and Skype. The details are set out in the description below. I charge for those. Now, they go for about an hour and a half, maybe longer sometimes. And there's another gift which I also provide separately to those, which is the gift of healing. The details are also in the description. Now, that is provided as a service for free. Nothing is to be given or received by me in return. No money, no obligation, no expectation, nothing. It's a duty, it's a spiritual duty that I have to provide it, and that's the basis upon which it was given to me, clearly, when I was a baby. So it's what I've done now for many decades. Now, if this is calling out to you, don't feel shy. You know, lots of people from YouTube take advantage of it, and everyone's happy with the results. So make use of it. I set time aside each day to do those. Now, we're going to take 5 cards, and they are going to give you the picture as to what the cosmic energies are going to be doing to how you can manage them to bring about emotional fulfillment and success. So let's see what there is coming up first that wants to speak, and it is the King of Wands. This is the 3 of Cups. What else wants to talk? The High Priestess wants to talk. Who else is there? Who else is there? The 8 of Cups. Well, finally, let's see what there is. Come on, and there is the Sun. Right. Now, you can take from these images, of course, what you want. They do, and are starting to talk to me now. Well, together we'll work it out. I'll give you my take while I do the reading for you, having brought the camera around so you can get a good look at them. Now, this is what the back of the cards look like, incidentally, because some people like to see what backs of cards do look like. Normally I don't show them, as you probably know. This one in particular, though, I do like because of the quality of it, the quality of the pictures on the other side as well. But what I like about it is the recognition of the importance of the zodiac signs and astrology in connection with our tarot, as you know, we do use a lot of in these readings here. They speak a lot to us in combination. Now, it's a very highly intuitive time for you. A lot of healing as well, which is good because you're getting over something here. And I think it's because you're morose, because you're lacking necessarily a thing of determining what to be shooting for, what to be aiming at, which you do overcome. Great success. This is a turning point for you in your life this month. Wonderful love and abundance all around you. Why don't we start with this? This is the High Priestess, or as I call her, the Princess, the Priestess of the Silver Moon. And the moon, well, it represents cycles and going with the flow. And I think that at this time in particular, you are going to have access to your intuitive powers. Intuition is going to be very important to you and is going to be developed. Now, there is healing going on as well, getting over probably emotional feelings. It's feelings, it's nothing particularly dramatic. You will have a tremendous desire for independence, but you will be blessed with increased self-confidence. And I think you'll be setting out to discover your own truth and aiming for things. There's an emotional stability here with you as well. This is an energy, the essence of which is unrestricted independence. You don't want to have to rely on other people. You are going to be in touch with your intuitive abilities, and you'll be able to trust them completely. Now, you will acknowledge, receive, and feel and be connected with your inner voice, that internal guide and healer. And this will show outwardly, I think, in your trust for and responsibility for yourself, looking after your own self-interests. Now, you would be aware of the camel as an animal that can cross the desert for long stretches without any water, and yet you'll find that when you now come, as you will be doing, and discovering your own inner spring, that you are going to radiate a satisfied sense of self-sufficiency. Now, the more you accept yourself and share with others, the deeper the clarity of your feelings are going to become. Now, in my own experience, this energy here, as represented by this card, is one of the strongest for balance, equilibrium, and harmony. And I also think, because the moon is here, well, that reflects the sun. You'll be receiving the light of the sun, shining and showing its way forward, as it does, in fact, show up here. Now, interestingly, this might apply to you. This can sometimes indicate an extrasensory perception, like clairvoyance or telepathy. Certainly creative visualization, empathy for others, healing powers, but certainly an intuitive knowledge. Intuition is coming up all over here. And these abilities are all coming to you now, and they're arising in harmony with and in service to the ultimate cosmic law. This can also represent, I think, for you the beginning of a new social friendship here, and maybe even a need to be more confident because of the presence of the moon with your feminine, intuitive side. Now, the men don't be concerned about that because all of us, we all have male and female principles within us. It's just that they are expressed differently due to anatomy and psychology. And this energy here might also bring about this sort of a situation where the rusty shackles of your emotions are unchained, and you might become a lover without any particular cause to be. And within the deepest wells of your unconsciousness, your subconscious, that's the moon, it just might uncover the unmapped territories that you might well travel to give you that sense of freedom and fulfillment. And you might also find that you will be granting free rein to your intuition and giving love a blank sheet of paper on which you can write what you want. But I do, in summary, think that you will now have access to your intuitive powers, so develop them more fully and also guard your independence. Now, are there any areas in your life in which you allow others to influence you rather than trusting your own intuition? And there's the moon, which has such effect on the tides and the oceans and rivers, doesn't it? So seek out water as often as you can. Just look at it and learn from it. Let it speak to you with words unspoken. and say to yourself, in this period, I trust my intuitive abilities. I deeply honor and value the human being that I am. I am intuitive and perceptive, and I trust myself, and I honor my sense of integrity. Now, what is going on with this energy here, which is saying that it's going to be with you just for a moment, I think? Let's have a look at it, because you do overcome and you do heal, and there's great success and love all around you. Now, this energy is Saturn ruling the first decan of Pisces, that 19th to the to the end of February, whatever date that is, the 28th or the 29th. Well, Saturn, as you know, is about structure, organization, discipline, responsibility, something of a heavy energy, I suppose. Actually has an enormous amount of good things going for it as well. And Pisces, as you know, is, well, it's sort of intuitive and spiritual, fantasy, and very emotional. But what happens here is, and with this number 8, incidentally, I have a mystical association with the planet of Mercury, but I also see you numerologically in a position of power and making decisions and balance, harmony coming about. But with Saturn in Pisces, that water sign, Saturn deadens completely the water of Pisces, and Saturn dominates and suffocates the joy of Pisces. And there is this flightiness of Mercury, that fast planet closest to the sun, which goes forwards and into retrogrades and all of that. So in some respects, the overall influence, I suppose, resembles dark Saturn with no growth. Now, the other thing, of course, is that this Mercury attribution, which I have with the number 8, Mercury is in detriment in Pisces, so there's a conflict here as well. Now, you might think that there is, for a moment, a period of stagnation, emotional blockage, a laziness, a feeling of stagnation. And I think these are the result of your thoughts. Because thoughts, what you think, and incidentally, I might remind you that your thoughts are paintings that you paint yourself, and you surround them with words that you create, don't you? That's what a thought is. But a thought can lead to feelings, and you might be feeling as if, oh, I just feel a bit down, I just feel a little bit unmotivated. It's a feeling which is almost like, you know, when you can have a big party the night before, but you've got to live with the morning the day after. The feeling, I suppose, is that of the morning of the day after. It's just that there was no big night before, if you understand what I mean. But it's thoughts, it's goals, it's ambitions, I think, which you need to fuel up. But in the intervening period, though, I feel that you might think that you have put in wasted effort on something. But that is not true. And the water of Pisces becomes like a swamp. The freshness and the vitality goes out of it. You may well think that you've already wasted enough of your energy on people who give you nothing in return. You've filled them with your energy, but they were like bottomless barrels, and you can feel that they are, in a sense, like energy or emotional vampires that leave you feeling empty and sucked dry. Now, there might also be the situation here to do with interpersonal relationships, where you perceive that the more that you try to revitalize a relationship which has fallen into a rut, the more powerless and empty you feel. And you figure that any attempt to re-energize the other party is just going to spread out and blow away your energies further without achieving any results. You might even be just denying yourself pleasure and have no interest in friends or what's going on. But this is temporary. But you, of all people, have persistence and ambition with you, and it might well be that you should consider that, and I'm sure you probably will, that your current situation equals the life expectations that you have accepted as completed, unless you change your comfort zone to create a better life. Life is what you think it is. This position of harmony, which is coming around here, this is the central energy of this card for you. I see it here and here and here, everywhere. You see, harmony is your natural state of being. And so, when your energies become too stagnant, then chaos gets thrown into the mix to stimulate what will eventually result in balance and invite flow. But chaos isn't any good for you, is it? You want to keep things under control. So the trick is not to let chaos trap or define you. Simply allow it to create movement in the automobile of your life so that you can snap your eyes open and take back control of the steering wheel. Do not lose yourself in the storm. Instead, be the calm in the storm. But I'm glad to say that I feel that you get on with it, as you should be doing. And why am I getting that? Where am I getting this from? Here, maybe. What's this saying? What do you got to say? What do you have to say? What is there? This is rapid fire directed action power here. This is the really fiery aspect of fire. There's dynamic forward motion which you are going to bring about. And of course, you will have achieved some increased insight. Now, there are some coming changes coming along, but most importantly, because this fits with you, you have got to have something to do. You will be energetic and ambitious. I'll say something about ambition, maybe. A lot of people have got a problem with ambition. You don't, you understand it. And there's an adventurousness about you, a determination. I have to say, you're going to be extremely charming and magnetic and basically impossible to resist. Physically, or however you may want to see that play out, and that's up to you to do with as you would like. I do think that Sagittarius and Scorpio are going to be important to you at this time here. This is really you mastering growth and inner development, which has begun with that High Priestess, of course. And you will take on the task of removing all obstacles and blocks on the path towards your growth. Your vision is a vehicle for decision, which I think we spoke of here, decision of dealing with the outer world and with people in it. Now, with respect to this ambition that's with you, and it's your natural state, that's why I love Capricorn. This is what's going to make you happy in connection with ambition, I think, for this month. And the first is this, is that you must find a purpose to serve rather than trying to find a lifestyle to live. And just be happy and understand that intelligence without ambition is like a bird without wings. So rest comfortable with your ambition. And I see here with you persistence, perfection, patience, power. Prioritize your passions. This is going to keep you sane and stop you going into that emotional stagnation. But you know what I also think you're going to do during this period here? You are going to come to the realization that you need to surround yourself with positive people who believe in your dreams. Now, as your mother probably always told you, you are judged by the company that you keep. Surround yourself with success, with positive people. Distance yourself from negative people who try to lower your motivation and decrease your ambition. And sadly, though, I have to say that these people very often are very close to you. Now, create space for positive people to come into your life. So surround yourself with positive people who believe in your dreams, encourage your ideas, support your ambitions, and bring out the best in you. Because by doing that and those other things, the energy that you will stoke up with this fire that's with you now, it is going to be set free, and it will just make itself manifest, and you will be unstoppable. Even in difficult situations, you will be moving in a practical, positive, constructive direction. So find your vitality and trust your instincts, your intuition. Maybe also just lighten up, let your hair down, give yourself a pep talk and believe that you can do it. Because you can, and tell yourself that you can do it. You might have heard me say, the most important words you will ever hear in your life are the words that you tell yourself. There could be some journeys or traveling around here. Maybe a change of job, promotion, more work to be done. Your creative ideas are going to be brought into action, and you'll have the courage of your conviction. So be awake, ready for people or situations who just might well produce really significant changes in your life. Now, does your present situation allow for your energies to develop and unfold fully? And if not, what or who must be removed or changed? And as I said, seek out situations and seek out opportunities that challenge you and engage them with all of your energies and say to yourself, every challenge which arises helps me grow. Every storm strengthens my roots. Because this is, maybe even against your wildest expectation, really a turning point for the better in your life. Now, you know how, when we looked at the back here, we had all these signs coming around. Well, the system is that these things all revolve around the sun. Astronomically, of course, it's different to that, but in astrological terms, if you like, the dogma of it is that the sun is the center and from which all life flows. But you see, these things in astrology, they are avatars, they're symbols, they're metaphors for the spirit of the divine, which is everywhere here. You will have highly creative energy and an awareness. There's very fulfilling love relationships coming about here. And it is a time of transformation. Look, if I was to sum this time up for you, it would be the word yes. Things are happening for you, material advancement. You know, I do get the feeling that somebody here could themselves, or you're going to hear of marriage, but there's success, good fortune, optimism and happiness here. You know, the thing I like about the sun really for you is that the sun is the source of life and represents success and abundance, and this is going to follow you in your life at present. And this energy is going to get you through any tough times, and it's in conjunction with the moon, which is going to be working on your subconscious and improving it. This energy here is illuminating the path forward after a trying time. So embrace your goals and give it everything you've got, because if you have been having some tough times, things are going to get better. You can move mountains. You know, I just sort of get this intuition of this energy here, and I've seen it before, that there's an aspect to it whereby it can be an indication that issues of co-relationships and teamwork, they are in the foreground, like doing things in partnership with somebody or being in a creative partnership or project with others. And it's also a time, I think, of restructuring a long-standing relationship, and I think that you would probably understand what that is. Now, I do have to say this also, because it's here. This could well be also a time when lovers become friends. I don't know how that is possible myself, but nevertheless, that's what's coming through. But what is important is that the fulfillment of your wishes is possible here and now. So just relax and give yourself up to what's going on now. Set the task and project, set it and start working towards it. Work with enthusiasm. When you do something with enthusiasm, happiness is the byproduct. It's inevitable. And say to yourself, I work well in teamwork situations. I enjoy making contributions to group efforts because I am a cooperative person. And now I am in harmony with the divine light which fills and guides me. Now, I'm also getting a massive amount of love energy pouring up here, and it's all for your benefit, I've got to say. What's going on here? I'm seeing Mercury in the second decan of Cancer, the 2nd to the 11th of July. Well, Cancer is really the most nurturing of the signs. And Mercury, of course, well, that's about will and communication. And when Mercury comes into Cancer with its nurturing faculties, you will find that you will be able to get things across to people and express your feelings, importantly, but I also think your ideas to other people in a way which is very sound and which makes sense to them, and in a way where they do believe that what's being said to them is going to, or is, enriching their life. There's an overflowing exchange of love here, rare, valuable feelings which can be communicated intimately. And the love represented here is of the highest order, and it's available, well, on one view, I suppose, to be shared with only a small circle of people. But I also see it as being something which is very good for anybody who might be in sales or retailing or in the media industry. I think this Three of Cups could also stand for three important people in your life with whom you can exchange what now are really precious and exquisite feelings that you're developing and expressing them to them with great intimacy. You've got something really valuable to share now. So be open to the people who can share these exquisite feelings with you. Those people are also a gift. You don't need to look for them. And importantly, there's also here the birth. Could be a birth of a child, but birth of new ideas, new projects, more forward, giving yourself a goal to shoot for. And you'll be sharing success with other people as well. Are there any people with whom you haven't yet told them what you feel for them? But give what you want to now in full awareness of your boundless riches and say to yourself, because it is true for you, that today life gives me everything that I need to be happy. What a fantastic spread of cards for you. Made so much better. Well, I told you that was very interesting art, didn't I? And didn't you find it fascinating? I love that period in history. It's one of my favorite sections of history, I think. All around the world, or at least in Europe and the Middle East. And now, of course, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. And until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.